You do not necessarily do all the excavation in the trench. It can be done in a laboratory. And some of that detailed work, there's no way that we could have taken that brunch out of the ground at West Langton and got as much information as we did. I nearly had it in the back of my truck today, but we're using it. We're going to be using it on Monday, and to be quite honest, that is better off locked up in a secure environment in Wessex archaeology. So I'm afraid you're going to be deprived of seeing the real thing, but it is one of the true gems that we've ever found. But I spoke to the conservator when I sort of collected it yesterday, and I said, as far as I'm concerned, that is your object. The amount of hours that she has put into conserving that is awesome, and the results are absolutely stunning. And what is amazing, so amazing, was that we were literally that far away from taking it out with a digger. I should never know. Somebody up there said, just lift the bucket up. We literally saw the area, the imprint, the grave in the ground. And I said to Ian, there was one end of the grave that was a bit messy. And I said, if you take off another sliver at that end, I said, we should be able to define the outline of the grave a lot easier. And so he pulled it back, and I said, right, pull it up. And he pulled it up, and as the bucket went up and over, and I said, yeah, that'll do. And we got in, then we got people in just to clean up. And we hadn't been gone many minutes, and somebody said, oh, we've got some metal work here. And I went over, and we started having a poke around, and we began to find out what we had. And yes, it was blatantly obvious, because I'd seen one before, what we had. And then, even though I do say so myself, that is where you rely on the skill of the excavator. And not only the skill of the excavator, but the discipline of the excavator, because you've got to be self-disciplined. You can find stuff, and you go, whoa, I'll just take a bit more, I want to find out, and dig round it, and dig round it. And then all the thought processes go out the window, because what you've got there is this nice swaggy object. You think, whoa, I wonder what this is. And you forget what that level of discipline should really be. And so all I had to think about was definition. How big is it? Because I wanted to make sure I knew that I was going to have to take a big block of dirt around it, but just how far out did it extend, and were there any other objects that might have been filtering into it that I might have to take consideration of? Thankfully there wasn't. But once I knew how much of an area there was, then you can leave as much dirt as possible, because the dirt was the thing that was going to preserve it. And then bandage it up, wrap it up in cling film, take it back. So that excavation was being done in the laboratory. Finally, the inevitable thing. Digging is not just about shifting the muck, it's not only thinking about that personal touch with it, it's also thinking about the record, because everything that you do when you dig a layer has to be consigned to paper. And so there has to be a written record, a drawn record, a photographic record. That is all tied in together, all collated together. All the finds have to be labelled and bagged so that you know where they come from. It comes down to that famous word, the C word, context. And if you ask an excavator, if you ask an archaeologist, I mean, if Danny comes along with a find, Here, Phil, what do you think of this? I'll bet you every time the first question is, where's it from? You haven't even said, oh, that's nice, that's a, what have you. Where's it from? Crucial. And that is why you have to read. That is why the record is so important.